Hello, my divine, infinite human beings. You're all that is, ever has been, and ever shall be. And here in my home in Sicily, I have a very special message to the world and my friends in Louisville, Kentucky, because I am from Kentucky. And the other day, I witnessed a miraculously symbolic experience with the 149th running of the Roses, or the Kentucky Derby. The esoteric symbols were off the chart, and I wanted to share them with you. Now, it is no coincidence, because there are no coincidences, that yesterday was all the Kentucky Derby, and it was also the crowning of the Queen of England and the King, and I call them the Illuminati, because it was really, I watched that, okay? I watched them all replay here in Sicily, and the energy just wasn't there. You know, it was like Charles looked so old, so tired. Camilla just isn't supposed to be queen according to any of the laws, even their laws. And, she was like, okay, finally got my crown, when the real queen should have always been Diana, who is of the Magic Grail lines. But this does relate, because the symbol of England, for example, is the rose. And the Kentucky Derby is called the Run for the Roses, because that's what the winner wins. So let me go to the signs preceding. And it's very tragic. My heart goes out because I'm a horsewoman and I just love horses. But before the Derby, the weeks leading up to it, in Churchill Downs, where the Derby's held, 4 horses had to be euthanized or put down. 4 horse deaths. Now, I thought about that. What is the symbol of that? No, well, the 4 horses, right? The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Plague, death, famine, and war. And we certainly have seen that in the last several years. Then we come up to the day of the Derby, and, I was here in Sicily, but I heard from my brother, who was on his yacht at the boat club watching the Derby and partying hardy, that 10 little girls, came up to him and told him to bet on reincarnate. And I thought, reincarnate? So I thought for sure reincarnate would at least show up. So I put the money on reincarnate. But I didn't know the rest of the horses. So I woke up this morning because I couldn't get it live here, and I saw the replay and I watched carefully. Now, Reincarnate and many of the other favorites, were coming out of the gate strong. They were going, for the home. But this was one of those miraculous Kentucky Derbies that people will remember, for eons. This was when basically a nobody, a horse that just started racing in January, at the very last minute came out of the herd and leaped ahead and took the roses, okay? And his name was Madge. Madge, I thought, wow, what's the symbolism behind that? Well, Madge means literally magi, like magic, magicians, the magi, the wise men, all right? The Magi Grail line, all right? Get it? So those with eyes to see, ears to hear, those that can see the symbology, you should be, you should be getting chills now. And it goes further, because they were from Venezuela, and the family that owned him, first of all, wanted to only go up to 200,000. They had to go up to 290, but they did it all in a leap of faith. And their name is Del Gato. Now, anyone that knows Del Gato, Gato cat, was the first emanation of form for Christos beings, the cat people. In fact, I remember with Peter, we would go we went to see the cat people on Broadway, and we're like, what is this thing everyone has all around the world with cat people? Well, that was our first form. The first people ever were cat people. So it's back into the hands. Okay, so what does this all mean? This means that our planet, our world, we are now in the great true reset back in alignment with Source. And we are now, the four horsemen of the apocalypse have been put down. The king and queen of the Illuminati have absolutely no energy left in that. And all the energy, all the power, all the future, the true timelines are all going to the magicians, to those who have magic, to those who hold the higher genetics, the 12-stranded genetics, to the Magi Grail lines. And that is proof if you know what you're looking at, okay? And that's how God speaks to us through symbolism. So I wanted to give you that little note to think about, to contemplate, of the true esoteric meaning of the Run for the Roses this 2023. Ciao for now from my beautiful home here in Sicily. Good night.